Behind the Blow, Foxmeyer Drugs, An Information Systems Failure by Samuel Pennington and Jonathan Francis.
Foxmeyer was the fourth largest pharmaceutical company in the nation. In 1993, they began work on the Delta 3 project. This involved purchasing SAP R3 and a warehouse automation system to improve efficiency. They hired Andersen Consulting to implement the systems. By 1996, the company went bankrupt and was involved in lawsuits with both Andersen Consulting and SAP. So why did the company fail?
There were several issues, starting with the CEO and upper management. They demonstrated very poor planning skills and tried to force the project to be completed at an unreasonably early time. They wanted the entire system to be up and running in only 18 months. The upper management also did not remain as committed to the project as they should have been once the project started. They stubbornly overlooked the risks and technical issues that came with the project, and tried to start the process 90 days earlier than they should have, before the system had completed testing. The warehouse employees also had many issues with the project. Many of the warehouse employees were in danger of losing their jobs because the new warehouse system, and so they began to sabotage warehouse equipment and pharmaceutical orders out of retaliation. They also had trouble finding capable IT personnel. Because the system was so new and advanced, Foxmeyer and Andersen Consulting struggled to find IT personnel capable of understanding the software. This resulted in a very high turnover rate of employees. The SAP R3 system was brand new technology at the time, and Foxmeyer was one of the first companies to use the system. Using state-of-the-art technology is always risky. Any issues with the software were unknown because it had not been tested for very long, and so the IT personnel found problems with the software at the start of the project, slowing everything down. Because the technology was so new and untested, it was also very hard to find people who understood the new technology. Finding skilled IT personnel became a major issue for the company. One of the biggest problems with the technology was the process time. Foxmeyer's productivity slowed down a lot after they started using the new technology. They went from processing 420,000 orders a day to only 10,000. SAP R3 was originally designed for use by manufacturing companies, but the upper management of Foxmeyer decided to try and force the system to work with their wholesale company. Trying to force the software to work in a system that was not designed for is not a good idea. The relationship between Foxmeyer's upper management and Andersen Consulting faltered immediately. Andersen Consulting could not find qualified IT personnel to handle the workload of installing the ERP system. Foxmeyer later filed a lawsuit against them for not fulfilling what they were contracted to do, and accused them of not sending their best technicians to help install the system. The relationship between the upper management and warehouse employees was also very strained. The upper management did not attempt to maintain their relationship with the warehouse employees when the new warehouse system was installed. Many of the warehouse workers feared they would lose their jobs, and when the upper management did not help them in any way, they began to damage products and mess up shipments on purpose. This caused the relationship between Foxmeyer and their customers to fail as well. When the orders began to not be fulfilled, Foxmeyer's customers turned to other pharmaceutical companies, causing them to lose a lot of business.
The new process was supposed to speed up production time tenfold, but actually ended up making it much slower than it was originally. It went from completing 420,000 orders a day to only 10,000 a day. That's a 42 times decrease. The new process also did not leave any room for training on how to use the new technology for the end users, such as warehouse personnel. They did not get a chance to voice how they felt about the new system and feared they were going to lose their jobs. They were not involved at all in the new process and ended up sabotaging much of the project. The upper management also completely failed to restructure the business process at all. They could not figure out how to redesign their company to make it more efficient to work with the new ERP system. They placed too much priority on satisfying their large customers than making sure the actual system worked properly, and ended up forcing the deadline to be 90 days earlier than originally scheduled to accommodate the needs of their customers. If I was CEO of Foxmeyer, I would definitely have done a few things differently. The main reasons for the failure involves poor management, poor preparation, and poor execution. There was poor management because they did not have enough skilled and knowledgeable staff members that knew how to deal with the system. I would have hired more skilled staff that had expertise in this area in order to successfully implement this project. A major flaw was also the lack of communication from top level managers to the frontline employees. I would have sat down and spent time with the warehouse workers and explained to them the benefits of the new system and reassured them that their jobs were not at stake. This would have prevented them from damaging all that inventory. Poor preparation is placed both on Anderson Consulting and Foxmeyer. I would also hold Anderson Consulting more accountable and make sure they don't treat this project as their guinea pig. I would make sure they did not hire rookies and trainees on this project and made sure they used experienced consultants that would be able to take on such a large scale project. Finally, I would not put all my eggs in one basket, such as this project. I would not spend $65 million on it. I would implement the system in phases, and if it starts to not go well, I would chalk it off as a learning lesson and de escalate. I would not care about public perception. Had these changes been implemented, I'm confident the project could have been a success.
This PowerPoint was brought to you by the Foxmeyer Drugs bankruptcy. Was it a failure of ERP? Implementing enterprise resource planning systems, the role of learning from failure. Foxmeyer case, a failure of large ERP implementation, and IT's biggest project failures and what they teach us. Thank you.